welcome to Amethyst Style Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Saleabration and we're looking at my absolutely favourite paper in the whole of this catalogue. It's on the front and it is, let me find it, I didn't get the page, here it is. It's on page 6 and it's called Dainty Flowers, 12 by 12, and you get 12 sheets of 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. You get it free with a qualifying order of £45. So if you bought, which is the set that goes with these papers, the Dainty Delight bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, which I keep going on about how wonderful they are. I haven't got them out at the moment. You get the stamp set and the dies together for £52, which means that you could then get this paper absolutely free. So options for you. The paper is absolutely gorgeous. You've got all sorts of different florals. So you've got greens on that side, you've got purples on that side. I've used quite a bit of it, so I'm just showing you some of it. These lovely florals on this side, and then you've got a pink on the other side. You've got these ones which are slightly bigger, and then on the other side you've got a really nice sort of abstract splattered pattern. That's the same as that one. I haven't actually used that sheet. You've got these ones which, as I turned around and said, you can make 6, 7, 8 cards, or 6 cards and 2 bookmarks, which I showed you how to do in a previous video. And then there's this one which I said we were going to come on to. Now this one, cut it in half, take it into 3, and you have 6 cards. So there are 2 sheets of this. You have a green pattern on the back, so 6 sheets of this. Sorry, 2 sheets of this, 6 cards for each one. So you can make a dozen cards out of 2 sheets of this. So I thought I would show you how to bulk batch make cards quickly, simply, and the little bit of preparation that you need to do to start off with. So let me just put the paper down there. I'll put it back in a minute. So we are taking, I've divided it down and I will show you what I'm going to do. So I've done 6 card blanks. I have taken the card bases. I've done them in a couple of different sizes so that you can just sort of see the difference. So this one I've done 2 on Sahara sand. So we're going to have 2 on Sahara sand. We're going to have 2 on garden green. You can see I've cut bits out of the back of these. Oh, that looks a bit big, doesn't it? Is this one in? Oh, that's white. That one is in on the I can't think what that colour is. It will come to me in a minute. So this is slightly bigger in on there. It is, I keep wanting to say fresh fig and it's not fresh fig. This one goes in on here. Some of these have got 1/8 of an inch. Oh, have I lost one? I shouldn't have lost one. I should have 6. Yes, I have got 6. So this one goes in on there. That one goes in on here, which is the smaller. Right, okay. So we've got 6 in Sahara sand, 6 in garden green, or any green that's going to pick up. And this is done in, I'm going to have to look on the back of the paper to see, because my brain has just gone completely. It is, and you can always look on the back to see, rich raspberry. So that's the thing that you prepare to start off with. So let's start with, we'll do those two second. I'm going to start with the 2 green ones. So, and these are going to be quick, simple batch making. So you cut your bases, you cut your pieces down into the sizes that you want. So we're going to stick these onto here. And this one has got an 1/8 of an inch. So some of them have got an 1/8 of an, whoop, gracious me, I slid that a bit. Some of them have got an 1/8 of an inch. Some of them have got a 1/4 of an inch. You can see why I prefer doing with my hands. I prefer doing a 1/4 of an inch to an 1/8 because it gives you just a little bit of extra room on there. But that's fine. So that's an 1/8 of an inch. This one again is an 1/8 of an inch. Whoops, it's sticking to me now because I didn't get that right. So, and they do go in quite well as long as you, says me, I don't work in 1/8 of an inch because for me they're just a little bit too small. We will get it on there. So if you struggle like I do trying to line up an 1/8 of an inch, do it on a 1/4 of an inch. So that's fine. Because a 1/4 of an inch gives you that little bit of extra room. So if we take, I can't remember how many I've done on, I think I might have only done 2 on a 1/4 of an inch. That's better. And it's practice. You know, when you're used to doing things on one side, you tend to do it on that side. So literally all we're going to do is to glue it all together first on here. I'm not going to do the back piece yet because I want to make sure that I've got the pieces in that I need to. Okay, so that's 4. Now these have got, I know they've got a 1/4 of an inch because I cut, as say, I wanted to cut some a little different so you could see the difference between a 1/4 and an 1/8. And as I say, it's whatever you prefer. You can do it in either. They both look lovely. But again, as I say, it's all about preference. I just try and give ideas and then it's down to you what you do with them. So for me, I prefer a 1/4 because it's easier, says me. I've got the glue and I keep, it's lovely fine paper so that as you move it, you need to make sure that you've got it stuck in. Okay, so that's our 6 pieces and we've got our 6 bases. Now what I have done is I have taken, I've got different die cuts, I don't know what the other word for it is, die cuts for my sentiments, because we're going to do 6 sentiments. So I've actually cut out 2 of these ones. These are from the Stitch Rectangles and these are from the Meadow dies because they have this lovely little one in here which I think works beautifully, and you could just do it in white or in an off-white, but I wanted to just pick up the colours a little bit. So I've then cut 2 of those to go in there and I've just made them so that they come just a little bit smaller. And again, depending on what dies you're using, it's a matter of just cutting them out. And then if we look at this one, these have got some quite nice, fairly small sentiments. So the best is yet to come, celebrate you, sending love during this season. So I think we'll try some of those. Got some more in there to do another time. I don't even think I've used these ones yet. So let's, the best is yet to come. So these are brand new. I haven't used them at all. So that's that one. And then we've got Celebrate You. I think we might get that on there, or it might be a bit tiny actually, it says me. Have I got anything that's smaller? That's a bit, Sending Love During This Growing Season. That looked quite small, didn't it? So I might be able to get, I think that's going to be too big. I'll just have to see. That, even that might be too big. I might have cut these a little bit small. We'll just have to have a little look and see. I need to get a little block. So let's have a look. That one will do that one. One of these long thin ones will do one of these long thin ones with a bit of luck. Hopefully, yes, I think so. And I think it might be all right. We'll just have to see. If it's too tight, then I might have to do something else. But hopefully it'll be all right, because it would be quite nice. I haven't done that one. That's a new one. So always take the backing off. Right, let's try this one, because I think that this is going to be slightly better on there. So I can't even see which way it's going to be. And I'm going to do it in, I'm going to do them all in black, because I think doing it in black will be the simplest and easiest way. So use your favourite black ink. If I'm doing sentiments, I tend to use this one, but you can use whatever you want. And then I just need to see, I don't know whether this is going to fit actually. It might not. Let's just have a look and see. Yes, it does. Sending Love During This Growing Season. So that's one. I thought it might do. Sending Love During This Growing Season. I don't think this one will. I think this is, that's going to go in on there. So I'll have 4 of those. You can do as many as you want, but I'm going to do Sending Love During This Growing Season. And the last little one here. So as I say, do them all at the same time, because then that saves a little bit of time. So you're basically doing a, as I say, a batch lot of sentiments at the same time. So you can make, as I say, if you wanted to make 12 cards with this, I'm only doing 6, I'm only doing 1 sheet. But if you wanted to do it with 2 sheets, you can do it really easily, and you know, you're going to save yourself quite a bit, because you've got 12 cards. Simple and ready to mail. And it's just a matter of doing a few little bits and pieces to make them pretty. So that's that one. Now this, we are going to have The Best Is Yet To Come. And I could have a Celebrate You on there. I think I'm just going to have The Best Is Yet To Come, because that's quite nice. So I just need to make sure that that's fairly straight. And as I say, I'm doing it all in black because it's easier if you're batch doing, rather than changing the colours. If I was just doing one, I would probably coordinate it with the, sorry, I'm just making sure I get this straight. I would probably coordinate it with the cardstock. There we go. Right, okay, so that's our 6 sentiments done. And as I say, you can see it's it's quite a quick process once you start. So that's those two. They can go back in the case. And as I say, if you've decided you only want the papers and you're not going to get this stamp set, then just choose whichever sentiment you would like. And you can choose large ones or small ones. I just happened to choose these because I knew that they would fit reasonably well. And I quite like sending love during this growing season because, you know, we're coming into, well, we will be coming into spring. And spring is such a beautiful time of year. And you do get all of these beautiful little wild flowers and pretty little flowers in the garden that start coming up. So I'm just going to now mount these on here. Just need to make sure that I'm fairly careful with it because they won't necessarily have completely dried. So always, you know, take a little bit of time. I'm doing this obviously fairly quickly, but what you would do is you would do one piece and then, so you do all of one piece and then maybe before you went on to the next piece, you would just give a little bit of time for it all to, you know, dry out. But it's a fairly straightforward process because we've now got 6 sentiments ready to go. And can put this in on here like that. Now bear with me a second because I'm just going to turn the light on. It's that January is a very funny time of year for light, isn't it? I always try and do things with natural light because I have quite a lot of, I have a lantern light and a patio door. So I always try and do things with both of those because it makes it a lot easier. So I'm just popping that in like that on here. Make sure that that's relatively straight. There we go. And then we've got these ones, the best is yet to come. So I quite like stitched borders and I quite like doing, you know, choosing a die because then it adds a little bit of extra interest. But in the same respect, if you haven't got any dies, you can just cut it out. The reason I use dies is because it means that I can cut out the inside of my mat without having to cut into a new piece of paper. But again, it is entirely down to you. Just get those in there. Okay, so that's all our sentiments. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to add a little bit of ribbon and some with twine. So I'm going to do these two first. So with these, I've got some of our linen thread and I will show you, we have all sorts of different ribbons and thread and all sorts of things. So I'm just going to do across here, around there, just do it like a couple of times and then back up here because I want to do like a little sort of bow on here. So let's just take this up like that, and I've probably come off a shot, haven't I? Let's just put that on there. It's quite nice, this linen thread, because it's very fine, so it means that you don't have to there we go. Then I can just bring it down a little bit like that. I'm going to take the scissors off like this. Oops. That's one with the linen thread on, and then I'm just going to open that up just a little bit so it comes quite nicely, and I might move it down just a bit like that. I'm going to put this up on there so that can come in. Do we want it down on there or do we want it down? I think I might have that one down at the bottom. That looks quite nice there, doesn't it? So I can then take this. I'm just going to take it sort of up or down. I don't want it all covering the flowers, you see. So we want the flowers to be the centre focal point. So if I move this just up like that, okay, and have the ribbon coming in, which just gives a bit of interest. And then I can put that down at the bottom where we've got the piece that grows. I'm not sure about that ribbon actually. I think I might, let's take that out. I do like it, but I don't think it works on there particularly. That works beautifully down here. So I'm going to put that in down there. And what I could do is I could put it down in on the bottom of here, couldn't I? So if I put this down on here, like that. All I wanted to do was to just do a little tiny bow up in on here. So let's bring it up. Hopefully you can see. I might even be out of shot. I'm just trying to get this. I think the other one had, the bow was a little bit too big on there. So I'm just going to take this in like that. And sometimes you can do it without having a bow, so you just tie it on, but I just wanted to have just a little bit of a bow on there. I think that's better. So let's take that off like that. And we've got this on here because when we glue this onto the other piece, it will stick nicely. And then this can just go in like that on here. So you've just got that little bit of interest coming in. I'm going to stick it. You can put it up with dimensionals if you want to, but I'm just going to put this in. And this is where when you're bulk making, you can do the planning thing first. With me, I'm just doing this in like that. So I want that to come in over on here. Could have done it with dimensionals, but I wanted to just have it straight. So that will go on nicely, and then that can go straight onto the base of the card because I've got this along the back, and this will make sure that it goes. Again, you could put dimensionals up if you want to. I'm trying to keep things fairly, not using too many supplies, because as I say, I know we're going into January. I think we've probably spent a lot over the Christmas period, so it's quite important to not, you know, show you things that's using lots and lots and lots, because suddenly you go like, it's a bit beyond my budget now. So this can come in on here. Put that down nicely. And that gives you the first one. Like that. And then we'll probably put some little twinklies and things on afterwards. So that's that one. This one, I think I'm going to put this straight onto a card base. And the only embellishment I'm going to put on this one is, so let's make sure we've got this, take the little piece out of here that didn't come out, and again I think down the bottom, or I could put this one in on the top like that. Maybe just down. This is where you sort of work out where it's going to go nicely. I think maybe one at the top. I quite like the flowers, you see, so let's put it down at the bottom again. I do quite like that in the bottom. So this one, I think I might put it up with dimensionals. So let's get some dimensionals out. So we're showing different ways of doing it. So we'll have one on one side and one on the other. So I can put that in. And we're going to have this one again down in the bottom. Just slightly, I don't like having things too centered, so just off on the side. We'll put this one onto the base. And you see I cut my sentiments out of one. I could have done it out of two actually, but I decided to do it out of one. And then that one can go in on here like that, which is rather nice. And then on this one I have got, I've done some little bits of ribbon. So I've got, I'll bring them in, I've got little white ones that I've tied. So we could have a white one down on there. That might look quite nice, mightn't it? I've got a little yellow that will pick up with the yellow, which is just a little tiny snippet, which again might go quite nicely. Or I've got some gold, and I think the gold is probably a little bit, gold might look quite nice. Oof. Lots of pretty ones. I think I might just have the white. Let's just go plain and simple white on this. So putting a little bit of ribbon on, we just need to take, we just need to take a glue dot. So let's make sure that we've got the glue dot here. I'm bringing it up in there. I've just realised I'm probably a bit too far down on the, is that, what have I got in here? Oh no, they're not. Get the wrong things. There we are. Those are my glue dots. I thought the box didn't look right. It was another box. So let's put these ones in. And so if we take the little ribbon and we put it in onto a glue dot like this, try and get it in the centre. You can roll it up a little bit as it comes off, roll it round, and then we can just take that and put the bow just down on here on that corner like that. Okay, so that's that one. So we've got two. Now we've got these ones. So this one, I think we're going to do, what should we do with this one? I might just literally put them up and put the bows on them, and then we'll work out to do a bit of twinkly things. So very simply, we're just going to put all of these ones in. So we can put that one in like this. Now this again is a larger one, so we've got a slightly smaller border. Like that. And I'm going to put this one on. Again, don't put it on if you want to put some ribbon and things round it. Do your ribbon first and then put it onto the card. So I will show you with one. There's one that I wanted to do with a bit of ribbon. So when we get to that one, so these two are just going to be straight with a little bit of twine on. And I'm going to put the sentiments and things on there. These ones I'm going to have, I've got some, where did I put it? Here we go. This ribbon, which I absolutely love. And this is called Metallic Mesh Ribbon. Now I'll show you where all the ribbons are in the catalogue. I'm just going to, now because these are going to have this on here. So this is beautiful because it does show through nicely. So I could put, this one is going to come at the top. So we're going to put a piece of this just in over the top. So if I cut it about to there, And I can do exactly the same because I know the other is the same size. So if I cut that one as well, like that. And this has been such popular ribbon. So on this, we are literally just going to take it across the top, and we're going to just take it round the sides. Now, to put the ribbon on, I tend to use, let me see if I've got it. So I need to use, I will use like a stamping seal or something like that, because that's the only time I use it. And if you put some down on the side, like that, you can then put your ribbon across, because this, we don't want it to, we want to keep it as it is, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to take it across here. Like that. So it can then just stick onto this piece. So we've just stuck it on there. Then this can then be stuck straight down. I'm just making sure that I've got some glue in on this bit. And because it's very fine, it doesn't bulk up the card at all. It's an absolutely glorious ribbon to use. It is one of my favourites. And it's in the annual catalogue where most of the ribbons are. You do get ribbons when they introduce them in the new catalogue. But I don't use a lot of ribbon, as you know. Now this one, we are going to put this up with dimensionals, because with this it's unlikely to go in easily. So we'll just put a couple of dimensionals on here. As I said, it doesn't stick particularly well. So let's put this in like that. In on that side there. Oops, I might take it, bring it out just a little bit so there's a little bit of a border on there. That's better. There we go. And that's that one with that little twinkly on there. And then what I could do is, because I've got enough bits of ribbon, I could put a piece of, no, that's going to be too bulky. I think just like that on that one. I'm going to put some twinklies on them. Now this one was going to come up there, wasn't it, in front of the flower, which is quite pretty. Or I could put it down in that corner again. I do quite like them down at the bottom. And again, if I put this over the top, it's not going to counteract the picture. So I'm going to do that. Again, I'm just putting this on. Just make sure that this ribbon goes across, and then we'll put this across on the bottom, because I can then make sure that it's gone across on here and across on there into that bit. Then I can stick this down. So as I say, I think you could probably do these in, I mean, I've been chatting and deciding, if you actually got it all done and sorted, you could probably do it fairly quickly. As I say, I'm not the greatest at doing them too quickly, because I think of different ideas as I'm going. So cut that down on there. And then this one is going to go that side. And again, I'm going to put the dimensional on there, because I think that that makes it easier. Like that. And then we can put this in on here, just down at the bottom. I think that's the best place for them. Down in like that. Now, I have got some... This is a little bit of gold, which I think that will work actually. So I've got a couple of golds, and I've got, let's have a look and see what we've got on those ones, although we've got these ones to do, haven't we? We haven't put our sentiments in on here. So this, I do like this up on here. I think I'm going to put this up at the top because there's more space on this one up at the top. So these are going to come in here. I'm going to glue them. And then we're just going to put a little bit of ribbon, I think, on these. And I might use the gold ribbon because they go with the yellow flowers. So we'll have this one up in here like that. And we'll have, where's the other one? Here it is. Make sure I poke my little piece out. And the reason why there's little pieces in there is because I was quite lazy when I was die cutting. So I did several at a time rather than taking them out each time. So some of these little pieces built up a bit. You see, this is perfect. That goes in right in on there. Yes, so right at the top of there, because then it doesn't counteract at all. And then I can put just a little bit of ribbon. I might put the ribbon just in on the bottom on here and just in on the bottom on there, I think will work. Or I could put this one in on the center. No, I'm going to put it down in on that side. I think that works better. So a little bit of glue dot. Again, oh, got a bit of dimensional stuck on this glue dot. That's interesting. See if I can get this off without having to do it. There we go. And I tend to, as I say, put it on first and then roll it just a little bit so that it doesn't stick out too much. But then you know you've got it on there, and then that's going to come just in at the bottom like that. And then this one is going to come in on that side as well. So we've got a difference of white and, let's try and get that up in on here. Oh, that doesn't want to come off, does it? Come on, off you come. Right, and then I just need to, shush Luna, shush. Oh, she's obviously seen a bird or something in the garden, or a cat. Hold on a minute, let me just let her out. Come on then, out if it's a cat. There's a cat down the garden that comes and sits on the fence and makes and teases her because it knows that it can't get anywhere. She can't get anywhere near it, so she goes herring down the garden, trying to say, "This is my garden." So I shall let her out there until she stops barking. Right, okay, so that's in on there. So we've got all of those. Now, the last bit that I would add is just a little bit of twinklies. So different ones for different cards. So I'm going to, and this then just gives you an idea. So we've got these, which are the champagne rhinestones. They will go with the gold quite nicely. We've got and I'm doing these a little bit off camera because there's different ones that I want to use. So I just need to, I've got a pot. I really need to sort out this pot because I've got so many in there. Right, I've got these. I think I need to get some more of those, and I've got some of those which are older ones. Those are the pearls. So I think those three will work for what we need to do. So we're going to have the gold. That's me pulling this inside out. Right, so the gold one will work with the champagne rhinestones. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these and we'll just put one, 2, 3, and then we'll do 3 on the other one, and these will come slightly differently because we've got different spaces, so it's a matter of just picking up where you want them to go. So we'll have 1, 2, and I think I'll have these closer together, so I'll have the third one just in, maybe down on there, like that. Okay, always try and do them in 3s. So that's that. Then on the, so that's that one with the gold ribbon. Then these ones, let's put these with, I'm going to put these ones with pearls. So we're going to have 3 little pearls on here. So let's have 1, get them out of the thing, whoops, and we'll have 1 down. Whoa, it doesn't want to go on the other side. There we go. 1 down on there, and we'll have 1 down on here. That's 3 on there with our bit of ribbon. This one will have one up here, 1 down there. So I'll have these fairly close together. So as I say, you can put them wherever you want, but maybe like that in the opposite corner to the ribbon. And then on these ones, because we've got this rather nice twinkly ribbon on here, I'm just going to put some rhinestones in, and I'm hoping I've got 3 little ones, yes. So we'll have 1, 2, just tuck those in amongst the flowers like that. And then this one, because we've got these up at the top and I've got some slightly bigger ones, I'm going to put these just in a little row. So 1, 2, whoops, that fell down a bit, didn't it? Let's move that up a bit. 1, 2, and one of these, that can be 3, like that. So that gives those on there. So you can see by just adding a few little twinklies and embellishments, you can make something very simple look really pretty. So we've got these 2 in the green with sentiments in different places. We've got these 2 in the Sahara sand, which again works beautifully. And we've got these 2 in the rich raspberry. Nearly forgot it again. But I think you can see how beautiful they look and work. Let's put them in that way and that way. I think that they just look beautiful, and you know, a very simple way to make 6 cards out of 1 sheet of designer series paper that's absolutely free. Now I was going to show you where you can find all the ribbons and accessories and your catalogue, and it is on page, because I looked them out so I can go through it with you. So on page 144 and page 145 onwards, so you have got in here, that was the metallic ribbon that we used. You've got the metallic and the silver. That's the beautiful metallic mesh ribbon in there. And then on the other page, you've got your twine, which is down here. And the twine you now get in a multi-pack. So you get white and crumb cake and cream, vanilla, and black, grey, and yeah, so 5 different types of twine on there. So again, that makes a nice one. So don't forget to you know, have your ribbons and things. Hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.